that's exactly what I want to do, he said. I said, well then great, let's talk about it, you know. And they did write me some very good episodes. But in between time, I really didn't do anything. I mean, there were episodes that I didn't appear in the second thing, and I refused to appear in them. Because there just wasn't anything there.
Yeah.
I went away and had holidays and things.
You mean they just didn't give you lines? They didn't give you much material, so you just said, I don't want to bother with it? Or was it a part?
Deal on the second series was I was given the script, I could look at it and say, I'll do it or I won't.
Oh, okay.
You know? And
did they ever give you a story you just didn't like? And so even though you had a large part in it, you just said no?
No, never. There was one episode in the first series, which Johnny Byrne will confirm, called Dragon's Domain.
Oh, yeah.
And he actually wrote the episode for me.
You were going to be the Tony Cellini part.
I was going to be the Tony Cellini part.
Yeah.
And
I can see that.
And save the day and everything else. But when it got, and I was in his house, he showed me all the early drafts. But when it filtered down onto the floor 3 weeks later, I wasn't in the show.
Ooh.
Because the only person who was allowed to be the real hero of the show was Martin. So he had to kill the dragon and not me. And the only way to have somebody therefore do all that I did, that person would have to be killed. And since they didn't want to kill me,
you couldn't.
They brought in a new character. He did everything and they killed him and Martin saved the day.
Yeah.
And I got knocked out very early on, you might remember.
A couple times. I think it happened a couple times.
Right.
You were still in the episode at least.
Yeah, you said like hi to him, and then he knocked you out.
But still, you were one of the most popular characters on the show, even though you weren't in every episode. You didn't always have a large part. I mean, I think you're one of the people who people follow.
No, I know, but it was a very strange thing that happened in the second series.
Well, they should have known that he destroyed Star Trek before they hired him. They should have thought about that Star Trek got canceled after he...
Well, I don't know that anybody destroyed anything. Things, you know, they have a way of winding down sometimes, and some people are just given too much control. I think we really had a good thing going, but what we didn't know was that Jerry and Sylvia were falling apart. There was a lot of tension going on between them, and she was very much the ideas person, you know, and he was very technical, and I don't know what was going on there.
Then they made a good team, and when they broke up, that was a lot of problems.
Oh, it was very unhappy, yeah.
Then Freddie took over in place of Sylvia.
In place of Sylvia, yeah. But much more so than that. When Fred took over, he was given total control. He was... The money came from America, and they said, right, because the series was finished. It was not going into the second series. But people said, this is crazy, you know, it was a great idea, we should go into the second series. So they came to the conclusion that if they were going to do a second series and America was going to put all that money in, they would have to have control. And the man that was in charge of that was Fred Freiberg. So he came in with a tremendous amount of authority, and he had a plan, you know, and that was to get rid of everything that he thought didn't work and bring in a whole new regime.
Did he really analyze the first season really well?
I have no idea. I don't think it seems to me that
he did. I heard that he didn't see too many episodes, and he just made some pretty quick judgments, snap judgments based on what he saw.
I think that must have been the case, but I don't know. And since you're videotaping it,
gotta be careful with what you say.
Yeah, no problem.
I'm not a spy for Freddie Freiberg or anything like that, I promise. I am not.
Or one that folds back a long way, he can stretch out and won't be tied into it, and a regular economy seat won't do the trick. He asked if there was any way at all that the convention committee could possibly stump up for something like a business class seat, or wonder of wonders, a first class seat, and of course the answer was that it simply couldn't be afforded. The difference was $700 for a regular seat, which the convention committee could have afforded, and $7,000 for the kind of seat that Jerry would have been comfortable in. Ordinarily, If it wasn't $7,000, Jerry would have paid the difference himself and come. And and therefore, I just wanted to make that clear. And he rang me 2 days ago to say that he absolutely didn't want people to be getting the impression that because of his request about his behind seat, that people were thinking that he felt that he was the big I am and was so important that he had to have a vertical seat. So, I mean, you can still choose to think what you believe, and, you know, as I say, to contradict what Barry just said, but I just had to get that in before everybody went out and gave it what I believe is a completely wrong impression of the man I know. Thank you very much.
I say nothing behind Jerry Anderson's back that I would not, and have not, indeed, cheerfully said to his face. I came on that 12-hour flight yesterday in the back of the bus with all my chums, because I should meet a better class of people there. They had the effrontery on this airline known as Virgin to call the seats up front, which cost however much we're told they cost. They called them, can you believe it? Can you imagine such mindless monstrosity? They call it the upper class. I mean, I have, over the years, had the dubious misfortune of being shoved up the sharp end of aircraft when I've flown so often with particular airlines that they recognize me as their oldest inhabitant and push me up the foreign end. I've had to constantly beg them not to do that because of the monstrous kinds of people you find up there. So, with the greatest personal sympathy for Jerry Anderson, I am in my 82nd year. I was diagnosed with TB when I was 20, and I have angina, and I consider the best back of the bus with the best of them, and happy to do it.
Okay, everyone take a deep breath. Breathe. Okay, I have the latest scheduling at 3:30. The Barbara Bain Fan Club will be meeting in the Playa Vista room. At 3:45, we're going to begin the Fanderson documentary. And at 4:30, to give our guests a break, we will be doing our autograph sessions in the foyer.
Do any of you watch Fox Television? Put your hands up if you do.
Okay. So
Futurama!
You'll be hearing this in
Bender!
Futurama. Yeah, I used to do the voice behind Futurama. I still do some of the combos in that. But this is a little exclusive for you. And of course you have to imagine all the pictures of Ally McBeal doing all the wicked things that she does. and all the music of Ally McBeal happening. This is a 10-second spot, and it goes, "Congratulations to Ally McBeal, winner of 3 Emmy Awards, including Best Comedy Series." And then her tongue comes out, she licks a guy, and it goes back. And I say, "Ally McBeal, next on Fox." And they pay me silly money. Seriously silly. In fact, what I earned today was more than an entire episode of Space 1999 back then. Now, wait a minute. You think I probably earned a great deal of money here, and I just want to explain something to you, talking about finances. Back in the old days in England, in fact, probably still even in England today, the rates in England are far inferior to the rates that they are in America. And we just got real small money in those days. And I was lucky to get onto the show. When I got onto the show, I came on, as I think as you all know, just as a guy that was going to die in the first couple of weeks. And I had a couple of lines. So when they said, "We'd like you to play this bigger character,"
nobody thought to say, would you like some more money? And I was too scared to ask. So I stayed on the same dough for the entire first series, okay? A little more than a walk-on. But that's okay. I had the thrill of the series. I loved doing it. I thought I was being paid handsomely. When I worked in the theater, I would get, in those days, you'd get 15 pounds working in the theater. So to get 100 pounds, or whatever it was I was getting, was like manna from heaven to me. And I was working alongside Martin Landau, Barbara Bain, Barry Morse, all these big stars. It was a real thrill for me. So I have, please believe me, I have absolutely no regrets about that whatsoever. I loved that time. I loved that time. But I want to correct something that Freddie Feinberger said to you guys on the way here, because I was sitting in the audience. And he said one of the reasons why some of us were not brought back was financial. Well, can you imagine what it would have been to bring me back and even pay me double what I was getting? I still would have been getting less than the cleaner. But anyway, the point of the matter is that I know for a fact that Prentice, Anton, Senior, Clifton, myself, and everybody else from there down were not even asked. And you must be very clear about that. We were not asked. So we couldn't have said we'd like more money. Okay? Maybe somebody was asked, and maybe somebody did say they wanted more money, but it didn't start from our level. It was people above. Okay? And the other interesting thing is that the new people that they brought in, and I got to tell you that I love Catherine Schell. I think she's a fabulous actress. And I think Tony Anholt is a wonderful actor. And they were very, very nice people to work with when I was lucky enough to get to work with them. But they were paid 3 and 4 times more than any of us were ever paid. So where is it a question of financial viability? So I just want to clear that up with you guys. Right? Again, as I told you before, I've had a ball. Love to do it again. Thank you so much for being great friends. All the organizers, this was so well put together. This is the best one we've ever had. And you know, I come about once every 7 years, so I don't know about the other ones, but to me this has been the best one. And it's a great thrill to go out with this. If we never do it again, this one will do me. God bless all.
Yeah.
A few more thank yous that I would like to extend. But before I do, I have a special request for everyone in the audience. At this time, we are asking that all video cameras be turned off. If you have them,